Welcome back on the AM show, and now we are talking about that industrial action to do with CLOGSAG. Well, they are saying they're going to meet the Labour Commission, but they are complaining about their salary adjustments that have not been applied. And they are still having their engagements. They are hitting the streets. And we're going to be engaging some of them to find out what exactly is happening. We're heading to the ministries where Sweetie Abochi is standing by. Sweetie, if you can hear me, walk us through what exactly is happening, where you are, and what is the latest in respect of this industrial action.
Government Staff Association of Ghana, that is CLOGSAG, yesterday announced that they would embark on an industrial action. They say that as of 2022, a memorandum of understanding was reached for a new salary structure to be implemented from the 1st of January 2023. A year and a half down the line, that new salary structure has not been implemented, hence the need to embark on the strike. And true to their words, this morning we are here at the offices, and I count only 2 security personnel guarding the place, but nobody is here. There's no staff here. Their gates and some vehicles have been branded with red cloth, signifying the industrial action, but nobody and no activity is ongoing. In fact, you can walk right into the reception area of this building and you won't meet a soul. And so, indeed, CLOGSAG is on strike. Now, mind you that this is a trade union that serves as a mouthpiece for civil service and local government staff and other establishments. And when they're on strike, it's a big deal because we're talking about local government and we're talking about civil servants. And so as you can see here, there's nobody in the building. I counted just about 2-3 security personnel who say they came because they don't want to abandon the place. I also saw one gentleman who says he'll speak to us off record, and he explains that most of their bosses have even turned off their phones, and so you can't even reach them. We understand that there will be a meeting later on today with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, but they haven't yet confirmed if CLOGSAG will be there in that meeting. So this morning, this is the assessment of the situation. CLOGSAG is on strike. There's no staff here in their buildings, in their offices. It's just 2 or 3 security personnel here guarding the place.
Well, Sweetie Abochi, thank you very much. I believe on the back of that, there's even no one to engage on this matter. But is there anything else? Have you been able to speak to any of them? I see one person going by there. I don't know whether that's a red armband around his neck or just the dress. Is it possible to engage anybody at all to find out what their thinking is?
We tried to speak to some of them, but they say they do not have authorization to speak to us. Their bosses have been very clear that they shouldn't even come to the office. They are here for their own personal stuff. One person said he left a document here, so he only came to pick it up. And so they will not speak to us. We can take footages. We can see the red cloth that they've used to brand the place, and that is the message they have for whoever needs to hear from them. And until their bosses clear them, they will not say a word. And these bosses, they say, have also turned off their phones. So this is a real industrial action with no communication whatsoever, indicating that indeed they want their demands to be met before anything else is done. Mind you, this is an indefinite strike, but we wait to see how that meeting goes later today together with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Ben.
Thank you very much, Sweetie Abochi, braving the rains to actually bring us the scoop from the ministries. And like you saw, the red bands and everything, barricades and everything, they have laid their tools down on the back of the complaints that they have made. They are going to be engaging the Labour Commission today. No one can tell what the fruit of that meeting will be. And they have said that they are not bound to revert on their strike. Well, we'll take a breather here. When we return, we'll still bring you more action right here on the AM show. Stay with us. Welcome back, and we stay trained on that matter. So the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana has laid down its tools. Members have laid down their tools, and we continue the conversation, finding out what exactly this is about and what the way forward can be ahead of their engagement with the Labour Commission today. Joining us for a conversation, we have Labour expert Austin Gummy. Mr. Gummy, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Akapo.
It's really good to have you. You are my senior man, so it's a privilege to be called brother by you. But tell me, what do you know so far in respect of this? This wouldn't be the first time that CLOGSAG is on strike. It's not. But the issues they raise, salary issues and everything in between, and how unfairly they've been treated, and the positioning ahead of encountering or meeting with the Labour Commission. What do you make of it so far?
Thank you. Look, the CLOGSAG office is about a minute and a half walk away from the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations.
True.
So my experience with CLOGSAG is that when there is an issue that we do not know of, as soon as we hear, immediately there is a meeting. They walk from their office to my office or the ministry, and we resolve the matter, and that's the end of it. So hardly CLOGSAG would go on a cat call type of strike, as is being mentioned now. They have negotiated,
right,
or supposed to have negotiated over 1.5 years ago, and the implementation challenges with the employer has become the bane or the concern now. And it does appear as if, hearing from what is going on now, it means the employer is seeking to renege on the agreement they have themselves voluntarily signed. And if you do that, you break the trust between you and the workers. And what it is that they have very little choice, if they are not getting the attention they deserve, to take a strike action. You can describe it whether it is legal or illegal. That would be something to be discussed thereafter. But generally speaking, the employer is presumed to have costed the cost of the agreement they were going to sign before they put pen to paper. And so now that they are reneging on it, what it means is that they've not been careful enough. And so they are on strike now. The Labour Commission can only appeal to them and request the employer to go and implement the agreement signed on to and report back to them within a week or so. That is what they will be able to say, because you have already signed something on to, and now you are reneging on it for whatever reason. It's not acceptable.
Now, on June the 21st, they had come through with a release threatening that they would embark on the strike on the 3rd of July, which happens to be today. You just made mention of the fact that the Ministry for Employment and Labour Relations is just a stone's throw, which it is, from CLOGSAG, or at least their administrative office. Are you then surprised that, barring everything in between, this action is even happening, is even taking place today? How, I mean, what do you make of that?
I like the little gesture of your laughter before ending the question you just asked. That's exactly what it is. In any nation I have studied and I have been to, the Ministry of Labour, the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations in our case, is the most prominent among the cabinet ministers. It is not even Minister of Finance, because in the absence of peace, what you have is turmoil, you have confusion, and you are never going to have productivity, in place. So clearly what it is that productivity has been missing in the dictionary of the governance structure of the country. And it's up to all of us to recognize that We should not leave into the hands of the people governing us to sometimes do things like this. Even the media has to be proactive. But since 21st of June, CLOGSAG made us all aware through the same media. We all went to sleep until this yesterday and this morning before we start talking about it again. So we are all, jointly and severally guilty of some sort. So I think that we must question not just the surface of it. Let's ask the question. The question is, the employer, did you sign this MOU with CLOGSAG? The answer may be yes, and indeed it's yes. Did you cost, how much it will cost you before you agreed to it? The answer is we didn't really take care of it as such. We now recognize that it's a burdensome stone we have hung around our neck. And so that people, those who must resign. Almost immediately they must resign because you have let the nation down.
Wait. Who must resign? Who must resign? The Minister of Employment?
I respect him a lot. But that's not the case. Now,
Mr. Game, are you saying that the Minister of Employment and Labor Relations must resign?
And all those in the chain that contributed to the making of this agreement must get out. Because in America, they will not allow this. In no nation will they allow it. May I repeat it? No nation, no society, no civilized society will allow a thing like this. You have signed an agreement and you are to implement the agreement over 1 year now. Did you cost it? Did you know the consequences before you sign onto it? If you put us into such a decision, if the president cannot fire you, you yourself should resign. That's what it is.
I see. Let's talk about what they are looking for. They talk about the new payment structure. You are aware of it. Walk us through what exactly this is and why it has become crucial for members of CLOGSAG.
Ben, that's exactly what I just said a while ago. When they were going to sign this agreement.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking for what they said about the agreement. The salary changes that they are talking about. I want you to tell us, expatiate on it for us, and why it is so important to CLOGSAG.
Indeed, by our law and by practice, every year, employers undertake what you call a wage opener, or if it is a substantive wage review, the parties get together. In the case of government, they are led by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. There is a national salary structure, albeit one of the colonial type of salary structures, because they are operating notice type of system. They are not operating a real salary structure that is based on productivity. It's about people have come to work and so they have to be paid. That kind of traditional kind of notice system. It's not a broadband salary structure where people are placed on it and based upon productivity, they are moved around. So they never cost anything seriously. What they cost normally would be how much will it cost us to pay this money? The entities, they put it down and that goes into the national budget. That's the end of it. That's just the end of it. And that's exactly what they did. And now come to pay because of the problem we have, the hiccup we have in the economic structure of our country, with all these haircuts going on. That's why they are now reneging on it. That's just about it. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right. My final bit to you, this is not the first time that CLOGSAG has embarked on an industrial action like this. Even in respect of this specific case, they have made requests time and again, and often they have to lay down their tools to get here. Is there any mechanism we can use to nip this in the bud for a more permanent solution? What would you propose?
That is why we have a Ministry of Labor. That's why we have Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. That's why we have even national security. The experience is that this matter has been seized with national security long time. What have they been doing about it? In days passed by, the Honorable Kofi Totobi Kwachi will not allow any responsible ministry to let these things slip and wait till the people take the actual strike. We meet and negotiate with them. We even negotiate with the armed forces. We negotiate with the police service. So it is not like it's something strange that government has come into office new. 8 years into office. Experience have been gained. And fortunately, the minister is a gentle and nice person. He's not a very vicious person. Why didn't they call the people to have this matter? It was about 1 year ago. And now we are running helter-skelter. This is firefighting. We don't need firefighting in industrial relations. It's not done anywhere. So I think that what should be done is that in the future, the labor law is very clear. Our labor law is a very practical labor law. People who don't understand these things, you know that there are other players in the country you can always consult. You can even invite a private person to come and guide you and lead you. It's done everywhere in the world. So I'm surprised that we are still in this old adversarial relationship with labor, and now CLOGSAG is on strike. A whole civil service, local government system is virtually paralyzed. If they really go on a strike, that means that we are paralyzed. Today, productivity will be very low. If joy, you will need information at any of the ministries that you go, you are likely not to get the entire information. It means your productivity will suffer. That is the extent to which it is. So in future, I think that the Ministry of Employment should be up to the task by inviting them. And if they advise, if the ministry, sometimes the ministry advise, and it is Ministry of Finance that creates the problem, the hiccup along the line. So I think that these two ministries should ensure that they work collaboratively to prevent some of these things from happening in the first place.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Game. Austin Game is a labor consultant. Stay with us because even moving away from there, we'll be taking you shortly into that event. It's the EU-Ghana Business Forum. It's taking off today at the Marriott Hotel, and we'll be bringing you live coverage of that in a bit, right here on the AM show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.